What up, my dudes? Felix the Cat here, and in this video I'll be putting forward the argument that the Adjudicator isn't the best submachine gun for PvP and Destiny 2. But what I do think is the best submachine gun in Destiny 2 is the legendary Hawker Antiope-D submachine gun. Now, I do have reasons for this, but I'll get to that later in the video. But first, before we continue with the video, you should go watch KackisHD's video on why the Adjudicator is the best submachine gun, because I'll be referencing that video a lot, and you might get confused if you don't watch it. And a lot of the points that he uses to say why the Adjudicator is so good apply to the Antiope-D. And it's just a really good video. KackisHD always makes his videos amazingly good quality, awesome, and you should go watch them because he deserves as much support as he can get because he's awesome. Okay, you all watch the video? Okay. Yeah, we're all ready now. Okay, now let's get moving on with the review of Antiope-D and saying why it's better than every other SMG in the game. Now I'm gonna start this review by comparing the Adjudicator and the Antiope-D stats together. So here are the Antiope-D and the Adjudicator compared together, and something you already see is that the Antiope-D has superior range than the Adjudicator, which for these types of guns, SMGs, is very important. The reason I say this is because having higher range in an SMG is very important, because SMGs are naturally going to have really bad range. Because SMGs, you know, they're naturally a close range gun. They're always going to be. So that means an SMG that has longer ranges means you can take targets further away, but still do the exact same damage as an SMG as if they were closer up. So that means you can take down targets from further away, and added in with this slow fire rate of 600 rounds, you can easily kill a target with five headshots, which is really good. And because the range, you can do from like really far away, you can, like, not really far away, but like medium ranges, which is really unheard of with an SMG that powerful. It's unfathomable how far you can kill someone with this gun. And compared to the Adjudicator, which has less range, this gun is going to easily outplay it because you won't be able to get as close and risk as much in like firefights. Because if you're further back, you have more time to actually escape and run away if you do get in a bad position. While the Adjudicator, you would be in closer ranges. Yes, when you do get into closer range, you can literally melt. And if you're using the Antiope-D, it would also be better to get in those close situations, but you don't have to, because you can go further away without the SMG losing any damage or being less accurate. Now, another thing the Antiope-D has going for it is that the gun is surprisingly easy to control than the Adjudicator, in my opinion. But that is extremely unusual and weird, because the Adjudicator has more stability and more handling. Yet, in my opinion, the Antiope-D is easier to control. So that's unusual, because you think with a gun with more stability and handling, the Adjudicator would have more control when you're using it, but you don't. Like when you're scoping it, the thing goes around the place, goes sideways. It's very unusual and unpredictable. While the Antiope-D you can easily hit every single headshot with it, especially in its close ranges to medium ranges, which I found unusual. Now let's have a look at the perks of the Adjudicator. Okay, so the first perk we have is the Now, I do think that the Adjudicator is superior than the Adobe-D in perk-wise, because the Adobe-D's perks are more PvE orientated than the Adjudicators, because, like, you know, the Adjudicator's perks are literally, the majority of them increase stability and accuracy over time, while the Adjudicator is more orientated for when there's larger groups of like targets, and then you kill one, and then you reload, and then you can kill more. While in PvP, that is a unlikely scenario. So, you know, the Adjudicator's perks are a lot more superior because they increase stability over time, while the Adobe-D is more orientated to PvE. So that's the only place where I think the Adjudicator wins in. But the stats wise, the Adobe-D is superior than the Adjudicator. Now, even though the Adjudicator has superior perks when compared to the Antiope-D, the Antiope-D still beats it out, in theory, with its superior stats. But that is just in theory. What about in practice? Well, in PvP, the Antiope-D is
absolutely phenomenal.
I was just shredding through people, and it felt amazing to kill people with this weapon. I'm just gonna tell you guys now that I'm not the best at PvP, as you can see from the gameplay in the background. But I was getting, even though I'm like bad at PvP, I was getting doubles and triples and winning fights that I would normally lose, all thanks to this gun. And all the positives that Rick Hackers stated in his video towards the Adjudicator all applied to the Antiope-D. And the Antiope-D does all those positives so much better. It has more range, has amazing stability, easy to handle, really great at getting precision hits. It is great when pairing with auto rifles like the Uriel's Gift or the Prosecutor or any scout rifle, any good scout rifles in the secondary, and you can easily make really good builds around this SMG. For example, as you can see in my gameplay, I was using the Uriel's Gift as my secondary, as something I would use for, like, you know, longer ranges, and I would usually fall back onto the Antiope-D just in case someone gets closer. And this worked amazingly. Like, felt like a good player. I was getting kills, and we were winning matches, and it was great and amazing. Now, the Antiope-D isn't just good in PvP, it is also really good in PvE compared to the Adjudicator and other SMGs. Now, this is because of a couple things. The first reason is because of the perk that I mentioned before, Kill Clip, which grants increased damage after getting a kill and reloading. This is good for PvE because there are way more enemies to shoot, so the perk will always proc when you reload. And because of the nature of an SMG, you will be getting kills and then reloading and then doing more damage every single time, because SMG has like barely any ammo in it, so you'll just be shooting, reloading, and then you'll like instantly get the perk and then be killing more people, and the perk will just go on forever and ever and ever and ever. You'll never stop until you run out of enemies. And because the enemies are so goddamn stupid in Destiny 2, you can get up right and close to them and literally just melt them, because it's an SMG. You gotta get nice and close and you do the maximum damage. And if you're not able to actually get nice and close up to them, you can just use the increased range to fire from a further distance and get more kills and chances to get more kills. So it just opens up your chances of what you can kill with. Like, it just opens it all up. And frankly, it is just so fun to get kills with this gun. It feels amazing to fire. It is amazing to hit headshots. And because it's a kinetic weapon, when you do get headshots, they feel so much more satisfying than compared to an energy weapon. And it also sounds amazing. It feels amazing, and everything about this weapon is just awesome. It looks awesome, especially with the whatever it's called, the golden black skin. Oh, it just looks amazing, wonderful. And because of the nature of this weapon, because it's an SMG, in your primary slot, you can have it opens up how many builds you can have, because you have an extra new type of weapon you can use that easily works with many different weapons, like the Prosecutor or a scout rifle or any of those, because I've been finding that I usually get the longer range weapons in my primary, and I don't actually really use the longer range weapons in my energy. So I've been leaving all these like really good energy weapons that I haven't been using, but because I'll be using all the longer range weapons in the kinetic, and then I'll be using close range for the energy. But with this weapon, I don't need to do that. I can have all the longer range weapons, and I can use all those longer range weapons in the energy, but still have a really good close range weapon to fall back on if enemies get too close. And it is amazing. It just opens up the opportunities of how many builds you can make. You can have a hunter that is literally has a lot of resilience and has 2 close range weapons, and it's just amazing. I really recommend get this weapon. It is so fun, amazing, awesome, overall awesome, 10 out of 10 weapon. You can just go and get it. While I was editing this video, I realized I never told you where to get this weapon. I only know you can get it from the gunsmith. I don't know if you can get it from legendaries, probably, but I've only got it from the gunsmith. I don't think you can get it from anywhere else. Maybe you can get it from Io, because he does sell, I think he sells some hawker weapons. So try Io, but I wouldn't put my hopes up. I would just go straight to the gunsmith and level him up continuously and try to get as many packages as you can, and you'll eventually get it. And I've also noticed that it's a really rare drop. Like, I actually don't get it that much. I've only got it twice, and I deleted it the first time I got it, and the second time I got it, I used it, and it was amazing. Yeah, so I don't make the same mistake I did, and use it straight away. Yeah, just use it. Okay, I'm gonna head now, but I'm gonna leave some gameplay of me using the Antiope-D, and you can decide if it's good or not, or if you want to use it or anything like that. Bye.
In your snatch with pleasure, boom, she pleasure. Deep greedy, googling every corner. Men, the queue to be the next. Fingers ring, la 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 leader. QQ jumpers, rock fears, paper scissors. La 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 linger flowers. The choir in your hoof lies a heartland with the tempo. Our treasure, pleasure, leisure, leisure, it's all in your eyes. In your snatch with pleasure, a boom, cheap pleasure. Every corner.